Are you interested in flying two-stage high-power rockets like this one right here? Do you want to know how to install the electronics? That's what I'm going to cover in this video.
Welcome to Advanced Construction Videos, where we show you how to tackle rocketry building techniques and more. On our website, we sell kits, motors, building supplies, and electronics. So come and learn, shop, build, and fly when you visit us at apogeerockets.com.
Okay, the rocket is now painted, and our next step is to install the electronics into the rocket. So I'm going to put in the Easy Mini right there, the simple switch right here, and two batteries right here in the middle. Now the batteries I'm going to install using Velcro. So before I put the Velcro on the wood itself, it needs to be sealed, because if it's not sealed, the Velcro is not going to stick. So I'm going to sand out that area first, make it smooth. Probably should have done this earlier, but now's as good time as any. Okay, and then I'm going to use thin super glue to seal the surface. Let's wipe that off. Gonna hit it with accelerator. And resand it. Okay, and I'm gonna take some soap and water and then make sure it's nice and clean before I put down the Velcro. Now I'm going to mount my simple mini, or easy timer. It's going to go right here. When I mounted the board, you can mount it one of two ways, and I mounted it backwards, so my holes are in the wrong spot, so I got to re-drill the holes. I will make sure before this goes out that we have 4 holes in there, so that no matter which way you put it, you'll always have the holes there. So I'm just marking it with a pencil. So I'm going to drill those out, and I also need to drill these out because I'm going to tap them with a 440 tap. We sell these taps here at Apogee Components, so if you need them, we have them available. So I'm going to start drilling these holes first, because these are bigger screws than the ones that go for the simple timer. Okay, and now I switched drill bits, and I'm going to drill the holes for the simple timer. Okay, now for the tapping, I'm just going to do this by hand. Just put it in the hole and screw it in, then back it out and screw it in. Okay, I'm going to take one of my screws. I'm just going to test fit it into the hole. And that's working just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and do the remaining 3 holes. And then the simple switch, the screws that come with it are these little self-tapping screws. So when we do these, we'll just put it into the simple timer like this. Remember, you got to make sure your arrow is pointing up. And I need a screwdriver. Oops, I got it on the wrong side. The little standoff needs to go on the bottom. Like that. Okay, and I dropped one of the screws on the floor, so I'll find that and I'll be right back and I'll continue putting these in. Okay, at this point I have the simple timer down, and I'm going to put in the mini timer. And you have these little spacers in the plywood set for the eBay. Those I'm going to actually glue down to the board, because once it just makes it so much easier to put these in because there's 4 screws. So for this, I'm going to use just a little bit of thick CA glue. I just want to make sure that I don't block the hole. Okay. Go just like that. Okay, and then my altimeter, you can see the batteries on this side, the main is right here. I need the Apogee and the switch, which are right there. So I'm going to mount it this way rather than this way. Okay, that's down. Looking for my switch. Probably should have put this in there before. This is such a small eBay. Okay, and then the Velcro is going to go down there, like right here. And I've already put a piece on my battery, so the battery will just go Velcro down there like that, and it's on there pretty good. That will get plugged into here. Now the other battery is going to lay right on top, again with Velcro. The igniter for the booster motor, as we showed before, gets threaded through my hole there. And its battery connection is right there. Okay, so that will come here like that, and then these two wires get twisted together. And then I'd wrap electrical tape around them. And there, I might as well go ahead and show you this. Now the simple timer, I could put a switch in there, but since it's just one screw to pop the latch off, let me just throw this down in there like this. It's the same with this switch, turning it on. I'll probably turn it on at the same time. That way I don't have to have a hole on this side. So, you know, getting easy access. This is an easy access eBay hatch. Okay, so I can get in there and turn things on right at the pad. Now for the ejection charge there, that's going to be another E-match. This one only needs to be pretty short because I only need to go into here and then into this slot. Let me take this switch out since it just, one of the screws just popped out anyway. So you can see in there a little better. Okay, and I'm going to take this strip these wires, and these don't need to be stripped very long. Because I'm only going into that terminal block right there. Okay. And I will go through the hole into the bulkhead right here. Now, if the head is too big, then I got to come in from this side. Okay. I'm doing this upside down. Like that. Okay, and then this is going to go into my ejection charge. Now, I like to use a rubber glove as my ejection charge bag. And what I'll do is I'll just take an old rubber glove, cut the finger off. Now, I'm not going to use black powder because I'm indoors, so I've got a little bit of dirt right here. And so imagine this as your black powder, and you're going to weigh it out. And for a rocket of this size, this is a pretty small rocket. I'm not going to need a lot. A typical a 29 millimeter motor has 1.3 grams of ejection charge in it. A 24 has 0.6. Since this rocket could be easily flown as a 24 millimeter, I'm going to use 0.6 grams of black powder. So I'd weigh that out and I'd pour that into my bag. So imagine that's 0.4 grams of black powder. Then I'd stick my igniter head into that like this. And then kind of shake it down so that that igniter head stays inside the black powder. And then take a piece of string, tie tie that around there like that until you get a little bulb. And tie it off. Okay, just like that, and that's going to get stuffed down in there like that, and that's my ejection charge. That's my redundant ejection charge, because I still have the main ejection charge here. But this one will probably fire first, so then that goes into the Apogee terminal, because we want this to fire at Apogee no matter what happens. So I would stick my wires into the appropriate terminals like that, screw them down, have my switch in there, connect the battery, turn the switch on, connect this one up, and then put my hatch on. Screw it down, and now it's all set to launch. I would do that part on the rail, so you won't hook up your ejection charge until you get out to the launch pads, for safety reasons. And then your igniter for your motor will go inside the motor itself like this. You'll take off all the loose wires and kind of pull it up so there's nothing really hanging out. Now when that motor does fire, this wire here is going to kind of trail behind the rocket. That's just what happens. You can't do anything about it because it's connected up here. It doesn't really affect the flight. I've never seen the wire affect the flight, so don't worry about it hanging out. Put your nose cone on, and then the rocket is pretty much ready to launch. So I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out. This is the Sandhawk upper stage for the Terrier Sandhawk booster. I hope to get a video of this flying on here, but if not, I'm sure you're going to enjoy it anyway. My name is Tim Van Milligan. You've been watching the Apogee Rocketry Workshop. May the winds be light, and may the skies be blue, and may all your rockets fly straight and true.